What up guys, this is Ollie from Razor USA, and this is the RipSurf Ride Guide. In this video, I'll be walking you guys through step-by-step instructions on learning how to ride your all-new RipSurf. Now, while riding the RipSurf may seem a little intimidating at first, I promise you that with a little practice and watching this video of course, you'll be up and shredding in no time. Remember, having a friend help you through these steps will help you learn a lot faster. And also, as always, you want to make sure you wear all your safety gear while learning, and take the time to get comfortable with each step before moving on to the next. Well, without any further ado, let's get into this ride guide.
Step 1. Get to know your RipSurf. Before attempting to ride your RipSurf, take a minute to get familiar with it. You'll notice the two ends of the RipSurf are totally different. The pointed end is the front end, it's known as the nose. And the back end is the one with the traction pad on it, that's known as the tail. When you're riding the RipSurf, it's kind of like riding a real surfboard. You're going to want to have the nose in the front and the traction pad in the back. Unlike a skateboard which can roll in either direction, the inclined caster wheels on the RipSurf mean that it can only roll in one direction, with the nose in front. Step 2. Getting started. The first thing you're going to want to do when learning how to ride the RipSurf is to find a smooth, flat, or slightly downhill area like a basketball court or a driveway where you can practice. You want to make sure that area doesn't have any cracks or rocks or other debris that can get in the way. The easiest way to learn how to ride the RipSurf is to start off with a friend there so that you can lean on them for stability. What you're going to want to do with that friend is just have them stand on the opposite side of the RipSurf and put your hand on their shoulder so that you're not tipping over. If you don't have a friend available, you can substitute a wall or a railing or any other stable structure that you can safely lean on while learning to balance the board. As you approach the RipSurf to get started, make sure it's in front of you, not behind you. It is way harder to push off with the RipSurf behind you. So just make sure as you're walking up to it that your toes are facing the RipSurf. With your back foot on the ground supporting your weight, lightly place your front foot on the front of the deck and level your RipSurf out. Your front foot should be centered across the platform with the stringer going down the middle of the arch of your foot. Rest a little weight on your front foot to make sure it feels good before standing up onto it. Once you're confident that your front foot is in a good position, you're ready to ride. Now, the trick to getting started on the RipSurf is just having the confidence to push off with your back foot and step up onto the rear platform. In order to do this, you're going to want to make sure that your front foot is solid. While this might seem a little scary at first, know that speed equals stability on the RipSurf. Therefore, like a bike or a motorcycle, it's much easier to balance on once it's moving. Using your friend's shoulder for support, try pushing off with your back foot and stepping up onto the traction pad on the back of the deck. The combination of your stable footing on the front of the deck and your hand on your friend's shoulder should make learning to push off a lot easier. Your friend should walk with you as you push off so that you can hold onto their shoulder until you feel confident enough to let go and ride the RipSurf by yourself. As you push off with your back foot and place it on the traction pad in the back of the deck, you want to make sure to place it in the center of that traction pad. If you place it too far forward or too far back, simply step off and start over again. Once you've learned to push off with your rear foot and stand firmly on the RipSurf as it rolls, you're ready to start gaining speed. Step 3. Gaining speed. Unlike a skateboard where you have to push off the ground to gain speed, with the RipSurf, all you have to do is carve to gain speed. What you want to do is, first, push off your back foot and step up. Once you've done that, then you just start wiggling the deck back and forth, alternating the direction of the nose. As you do that quickly in short cuts at first, you'll notice that the board starts to gain speed. As you get comfortable with this quick and small carving motion, begin to increase the length and size of the back and forth carves. The correct carving motion is very rhythmic and involves twisting at the hips, which will come to you with practice. Step 4. Turning. Turning the RipSurf is relatively easy to learn. Like a real surfboard, all you want to do is just drop a rail to turn in the direction you want to go. So just remember, your front foot determines the direction of your carve, and the back foot determines the degree of that turn. What you want to do with your front foot is just lean toe side to carve toe side, or lean heel side to carve towards your heel side. Now your back foot just determines the degree of your turn, and what you want to do with that is just lean it in the opposite direction that you're leaning your front foot. The harder you lean your back foot in the opposite direction of your front foot, the sharper the degree of the turn you're making will be. The relationship between the back foot and the front foot on the RipSurf is something mastered only through practice, but just remember these two simple things. The front foot steers you, and the back foot does the opposite of the front. Step 5. Stopping. Stopping the RipSurf is easy. All you gotta do is step off. Since the RipSurf cannot balance on its own, it will not roll away. The last tip I have for you guys in this ride guide is perhaps the most important. and that's to take the time to get comfortable with each step we covered before moving on to the next. With a little practice and the patience to get comfortable with each step before moving on to the next, you'll master your RipSurf in no time. For the rest of Razor USA, this is Ollie Kermani signing out. Now get out there and surf where you live.